Hall of Famer Lennox Lewis tells Anthony Joshua to grab the bull by the horns and make Eddie Hearn make the Deontay Wilder fight. Take your destiny in your own hands. Stay tuned. Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing if you want to become part of the gang. Notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Well, what do we have here? You know, I'm having a great year. Just like last year, it's been a great year for us over here on Boxing Ego side, the real side. Death Row East, believe in it, right? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I told you, man, let's see it. You guys know the taglines. And the reason we're having such a good year is we've been honest, we've been transparent, and we just let everything else fall into place. It's like they hang themselves and we just give them the rope. Now, Lennox Lewis comes out and he's basically, I'm not going to say scolding, but for lack of a better word, he's scolding, advising, whatever you want to call it, Anthony Joshua to order Eddie Hearn to make the Deontay Wilder fight because it's apparent that Wilder wants to fight. So, listen, here's the thing. Let me start off with the quote, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Lennox Lewis told the Daily Mail, link in the description, he says, go order, this is a quote, go order Eddie Hearn to make the fight with Deontay Wilder. Now is the moment when you must take charge of your own destiny. There is no question that it is Deontay Wilder who wants to fight, and Deontay Wilder who wants to prove he is the man. Wow. That's all I have to read. You guys, if you want to read the whole write-up in its entirety, link in the description. Now, I told you it was going to be a surgical summer. Yeah. Y'all didn't believe me. The reason why this is so funny is because of old media. All this stuff, all the bullshit they throw out, all the propaganda, all this stuff. And then when it's all done, what's done in the dark comes to light. And we're seeing it. All the people arguing, saying, oh, it was Wilder who forgot his pen and all this. And it was you Yanks and Americans. It was an American thing. They were finding any reason, any way to blame the messenger, so to speak, as opposed to dealing with what's in front of us, the reality, what it looks like to be the problem as to why the fight with Joshua Wilder is not happening next and Povetkin is happening. And you guys can no longer say, oh, it's you bloody Yanks, it's the Americans, they're just so biased and Americans don't have a clue, they're deluded, because you have one of your own, a Hall of Famer, Lennox Lewis. And please don't tell me that Lennox Lewis is Joshua or he's jealous of Joshua, because Lennox Lewis has done more than Joshua up to this point in Joshua's career. Lennox Lewis has done what Joshua is just now doing years ago. He has already become undisputed champion. He's 6'5", Joshua's 6'6", so it's not like he's a short guy and he's jealous of the tall guy, right? They're both from the UK. Lennox Lewis is admired, respected, and revered for what he's done to boxing. He has signature wins over guys like Evander Holyfield, signature wins over Tommy Morrison, David Tua, Cannon Briggs. Let's go, champ! Yeah! You know, Mike Tyson. He beat Vitaly Klitschko. So obviously there's no reason for the man to be jealous. He's giving his thoughts. Like, I could understand if it was some random guy who's never made it and then he was like overly critiquing the situation and he hadn't, but that's not the case. And you guys know it, man. So Death Row East, believe in it, Ego's Army. It's looking bad for Joshua's profile currently, because in my opinion, he made the wrong move by fighting his mandatory, because any way you slice it, the mandatory didn't have to come next. If he were to face a champion in the unification, that would have easily trumped the mandatory. But it was Team Joshua, whoever you want to blame, Eddie Hearn, AJ, Barry Hearn, all of them, Rob McCracken, but it was clearly their side that didn't want the fight. And I think most of the world sees it, except for a couple scragglers who refuse to see the truth. But you have one of your own now who's been adamant. Lennox Lewis has also been on record saying that Wilder deserves 40% and Joshua could take 60%, the lion's share. So again, he knows both. He's met Anthony Joshua. He's met Deontay Wilder. He was just with him at the Jack Johnson pardoning at the White House. So you guys make this make sense. I think Lennox Lewis is just giving his honest commentary and thoughts. I don't think there's an ulterior motive. I don't think he's better friends with Deontay Wilder, so to speak, than he is with Anthony Joshua. I think it's just apparent to see what's going on, and he's staying true to himself. And I met Lennox Lewis. He's a very cool dude, and I met him in Las Vegas. And I just appreciate his honesty, because it's this type of honesty that'll help grow the sport of boxing. That's all I've given you on my channel, is my pure, uncut thoughts. I didn't care who was mad. See, we were talking about this Joshua Wilder shit, and I was on the front line. At first, there were a lot of people say, oh, you Yanks and you bloody Americans, or Ego, you're so deluded, you're so biased. And I took all of that, you know what I mean? Because I don't care. I don't really care what people say. I'll be a martyr for what I believe in, you know what I'm saying? And if it comes down to it, it's just, that's what it is. And if I'm on an island by myself, but that's what I truly believe in my heart of all hearts, then that's what I give you. And now you have people openly coming out. Luis King Kong Ortiz says, I give credit to Wilder because at least he was willing to fight me. He says, I'll knock Joshua's punk ass out even if I was 50. Joshua doesn't want to fight Wilder. You have Joseph Parker saying that Wilder will knock out AJ, a guy he fought, right? There's only so long you guys can run from the truth, and that's basically what I'm saying. And the bottom line is Joshua Wilder could have and should have happened this year, and it should have happened next. And for all the detractors, all the people who said I was dumb and full of shit and this and that, you guys are going to look extremely dumb if Deontay Wilder fights Tyson Fury, because that's a hell of a fight, and that's going to totally steal the shine from what Joshua's doing. And it didn't have to be the case. I haven't really even heard of people talking about Joshua Povetkin like that. You know, it was also upstaged by Gerald Miller. More people talked about Gerald Miller cussing out AJ and talking about his mom and all that than they were talking about Povetkin. Povetkin was just on stage standing there while Gerald Miller went off on AJ, and AJ held his belts and, you know what I mean, told him to shut the fuck up and all this, right? So what happened to the sellout crowds? I thought Joshua, his events were selling out in 5 minutes. What happened to that with the Povetkin fight? So again, slowly but surely, the empire is crumbling until it's restored. And the way to restore it is to fight Wilder. And again, another bad sign would be if Joshua doesn't look superior and sharp in this fight with Povetkin. If he struggles, people are going to be like, oh, see, this is why he didn't want to fight Wilder. So I feel like Team Joshua, they've created quite the conundrum for themselves, because they dug a hole and now they have to climb back out just to break even. You know, it's like going to the casino. You go to the casino and you brought $200 and then you lost it. Then you go back to the ATM. They're going to charge you like a $10 surcharge. And then you have to take out another $200. And then you lose that. Now you're down $400 plus surcharges and fees, right? And then now you're trying to get the $400 back. So you take out another $300, you know, and it just keeps going down. So I feel like Team Joshua, additional interviews and stuff that they've done, now they have so much ground to make up just to break even, just to get the reputation and the image and the profile of Joshua just back to where it's supposed to be. And I told you guys, a lot of these man fans, they didn't help the situation because they knew what they were saying didn't make sense, but they kept saying it because it was therapeutic and they wanted to say it and they felt good about saying it. But then in the end, look who's still here. After the dust settles and the smoke clears, I'm still saying the same thing I was saying months ago. Like all the Dillian Whites being thrown at Wilder by Eddie Hearn, that was a distraction to protect the cash cow, or to hope that Dillian White could play spoiler and sabotage and beat Deontay Wilder for his belt, and then you could bring it back home for a all British unification at Wembley. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't pan out like that, and I think the longer they stalled, they didn't cover their tracks. You know, they didn't cover their tracks well enough to the point where people were able to see the stall tactics and see the inconsistency, see the loopholes in what was said, and it didn't sit well with people, because I haven't seen such a turnaround in somebody's profile, especially in the heavyweight division. Heavyweight divisions are, you know, I don't really remember, because it's like a knockout division. These guys are big guys and stuff. You don't really see people's reputation drastically go down. You get what I'm saying? Because people know in the heavyweight division, one punch can really change everything. So even if a guy gets knocked out, it's just like, okay, he lost to a better man, but he fought this big ass Klitschko, the big ass Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, big puncher, right? Things like that. But for AJ, just based on what's happened outside the ring, I feel like there's damage control needed. Now you have a legend like Lennox Lewis saying, you better tell Eddie Hearn and order him to make the Wilder fight, because right now you're losing the battle of public opinion, because Wilder clearly wants to fight and he wants to prove he's the man, and that's what everyone should be doing. And again, this is coming from a former heavyweight champion, respected champion, lineal, undisputed champion. So you gotta do something, baby. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.